Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality. Hi, and welcome to Energy Updates with myself, Tom Lawless, on Cymatic TV. We are the 30th of October 2020, and we're going to be going into all the energy changes over the last week. And boy, has it been a week. Have you noticed how it sort of stops and starts and then builds up again and then all breaks down? It's been very spluttery this week, let's say that. As I've been recording this, there has been some news in about a earthquake down in between Greece and Turkey out in the Mediterranean. So stay there. We will be going into that into full detail, or into a bit of detail later on at the end of this video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And if not, I think I will be doing, because I've had to move a lot of things out of the way, had to change this update video, and I will be doing an extra video that will be coming up later on after this, and it will be the update in depth. So we'll be going into pole shift, we'll be going into that earthquake in Greece and Turkey, and also how the alignment of the planets and how they affect us and affect the earth, the sun and everything. So without further ado, let's see what's been going on this week in the sun. As you can see here, this is from the 23rd, this is last Friday. We can see a sunspot, a little one just up the top, but it's being swallowed up by the coronal hole, and we can say goodbye to that sunspot round the corner. But as we do, you can see another one popping up and developing in the lower echelons in the center screen. And as that does that, you can see a filament eruption in the north, and that actually erupted and created a much longer filament, which we will be going into in the update in depth later on. And that has been providing a lot of different types of energy. Less in the way of corona hole, so it's less heavier. It's certainly been a lot more electric this week. I don't know if you've noticed it. And it's probably been pushing a little bit the heart, and certainly physically this week it's been very noticeable for the hearts of people. As you can see on the right hand side here, we have the magnetic field for the week of the earth, and down below, this is over the last sort of 2 days. Over this last week, we can see where the stopping and starting, the spluttering as it were, and this didn't come solely from the sun. This came also from the planetary alignment, so keep an eye out for that in-depth update later on. But you can see on the top image the little storms that we've been having all this week, which has been really good for also keeping the vibration of the earth a little bit sort of stronger. Therefore we had less in the way of cosmic rays coming in, so we didn't have any problem. It should be seeing the end of problems with skins and stuff like that coming through. I would have thought, here at some point around about the 3rd, 4th of November. So that's really been coming around. You can see this sun here. It has been active in various different places, but nothing really in the direction of the earth, apart from one, which we will see a little bit later on. As you can see here on the top image, this is the X-ray flux. This is the sort of vibrations that comes from the sunspots, and that's really quick vibrations. It's one of the 5 winds of the prana, and as you can see here on the right hand side, it usually goes in sort of 3s, and here in the right hand side, this is over the last sort of 36 hours. You have one C flare, which got pretty close to an M flare, so it was quite exciting. It's quite good, but not directed in our direction, as you will see a little bit later on. So let's see how it's been vibrating the earth, and therefore vibrating us. So this is where we start connecting between the earth's vibration, the sun's vibration, and us as humans. And this is also the universal vibration as the sun moves through the galaxy. So on Friday, just finishing off from last week, you can see that there's quite a bit of activity around the solar plexus and the sacrum, and then the roots started kicking in, and this is this whole sort of switch over between the autumn and spring of the northern and southern hemispheres. So it would mainly, you might have had a weekend which was quite a feisty weekend, a bit on the edge, wanting to push things and go a little bit faster, as it were. It might have created a bit of frustration if you're trying to do too much. Don't forget, we are in autumn in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's a good time to push on and get those projects really moving on. You should have a good zippy energy to do that sort of thing. Then on the Saturday, this is where we had the sacrum really kick back in. It's taken a lot away from the plexus solis, but as it's broken over the Alaskan ridge, we can see it drop. Nothing really in the third eye or the throat chakra, just run through that and clipped the crown chakra on the way through, but it has been zipping along up towards the heart chakra, and that's been really building up over the last sort of like 2 or 3 weeks. If you go back and see the other energy updates, you can see that. But one interesting thing, and this is a recurring thing, is that reset down in Antarctica and Hawaii. That's been kicking off over the last week. It was pretty present on 2 or 3 occasions, but you'll see this week it actually becomes more present. So here we have Sunday. Seems to be a bit of a day of a rest. That vibration that sort of was skidding up along the heart, that seems to be playing out there on the Sunday, so it's dying down. We still got that release from the sacrum, which is just dropping off a little bit of energy into the third eye and the throat chakra. Now, obviously, the sacrum and the third eye and throat chakra, they work in tandem in the human, and you can learn all about that in other videos that we've done. There's been a little bit more on the solar plexus, but mainly just a little bit of the root, to be honest. But we've still got that reset down in Antarctica and Hawaii going on. That was Sunday. So here we go on to Monday. Everything's calming down. This is this whole spit and spurting. This happened on the Friday, so it's sort of got a bit of fiery solar plexus energy building up. Then the sacrum came in, so people started expressing themselves on the Sunday. And then on Monday, it all sort of died down, really. I think I was supposed to catch a plane that day, and I missed that plane that day. That's maybe why it died down. I don't know. But there wasn't really much in the way going on. You might say there was a little bit in the crown and in the root. The only thing really missing here is the reset down in Antarctica. On Tuesday, we have that Antarctica kicking back in. You can just see it at the bottom of South America. So that reset is reinstalling itself, re-pushing itself. You can see the gradual build up in the sacrum as it's going through the root. It's not really hitting anywhere else. You've got a little bit on the crown, I guess, but nothing really to be talked about. So that karma's really installed from the Monday and the Tuesday. And then on the Wednesday, which is 2 days ago, look at it all kick back up again. When we get the root, which you can see down in South America there, when you get that root really kicking in and it's combining with a little bit of the crown chakra, it's a signal that the reset is sort of coming to an end. And it sort of does this, and this is this whole thing between the northern and southern hemisphere, as the energy oscillates between the north and the south, as you have this moment of stillness between the two, and the energy can flip and flop. And as it does around this period, the beginning of November, you usually get the launching of the vibration through the system. And as you can see, like the sacrum has died down, the roots kicked off, and the solar plexus has picked up again. You're getting a little bit of overflow onto the heart, but it is the story of the week has been resetting, which I did talk about last week. I think we've still got another week to go of this resetting, but there is definitely, and this is what you'll see at the end with the heart chakra, definitely a new rhythm coming through. Big ones on the Alaskan ridge, so there should be energy following and flowing through, especially with that vibrations kicking up around the plexus solis. So that should have meant that Wednesday should have given you a bit more of a zip, a bit more of a hurt. but it was root, so it wasn't anything really to do with the heart. So you're dealing with stuff, you're trawling through those drawers trying to find that last sort of pair of scissors or whatever you're trying to find in the thing in your drawer, just to sort of cut you loose from the vibrations after the reset. So it's just setting the little things back in place, and that could have caused a bit of frustration between you, friends, family, relationships, and even work really that week, that day. So here we have Thursday the 29th, so this was yesterday. That vibration has gone through. We're getting a little bit of a build up on the sacrum, but we still have that reset situation down in Antarctica and Hawaii. It has calmed down, and there has been a big, well, I said big, but there has been a direct hit on the root chakra and at the crown chakra pretty much at the same time. And that to me is sort of saying, okay, we're ready to get the new vibration coming through. And these vibrations, they overlap each other. So it's not just everything stops and then starts again. It covers the ending of other vibrations, and sometimes you can get 4 or 5 vibrations happening at the same time, different rhythms going through. So it can get a bit get a bit sort of crowded in the vibrations front. Then we hit today. Now, when you start a new vibration in the human energy, the first chakra to kick off, and this is not where you take your energy in, it just happens the way it's like a flower opening up, is your heart chakra. But that heart chakra doesn't complete until the whole system, the whole vibration has gone through the system. So it's the heart chakra that starts to shine before the other ones, but they all end up shining together at the end of the completion of the vibration as it goes through our bodies. So we can see here there was an earthquake up here in Romania, up by the heart chakra, which is in the UK, and that's off the trail a bit. So it's something it's definitely should have been looking out for. And then this came along as I was doing the energy news or energy update. This is the earthquake that came along, and as you can see up by the heart chakra, you can see there has been a big 7 magnitude earthquake in the Mediterranean Sea between Greece and Turkey. I have footage here, but just to sort of cover this, we will go into that in 2 seconds. But as you can see down in Antarctica, the earthquake's getting slightly smaller. I expect that to close down over the weekend. It probably will pick up again on Monday and Tuesday, and might close down again and then re-pick up very ever so slightly on Thursday and Friday. We'll see what happens. But also, this plexus solis is also getting strong again, and that's the next chakra in the rhythm. So keep an eye out for earthquakes around north of Australia, down into the Philippines, and Vanuatu, I think it's called, around that sort of area. That would be very interesting to see what happened. I hope everyone is okay in Turkey and in Greece. We're all on the same boat. No one's going anywhere. We're all under one sky, and we're always going to be somebody's kid, and we're always going to be somebody's brother and sister and father and mother, whatever. But we're all connected, and when this sort of thing happens, this body that we live in is not destined to live forever, but accidents do happen, and accidents do happen with the earth and stuff like that. And I can only send my condolences to anybody who happens to have lost any lives during this event. But for everybody else, you should be aware that this is ringing the heart. Now, this is going to make several situations according to our vibrations, which we will be going to at the end of how this vibration affects us. Let's just see what's coming down the line before we go into that in a little bit more sort of depth. This is the backside of the sun, not its anus, as it were, but its backside. If you can imagine, the Earth is actually to the right of the sun here, and these are the things that are coming through. So these sunspots that are on the left-hand side, these are old sunspots that have already gone through in front of us, and as you'll see in the update in depth, what happens to sunspots when they're facing planet Earth. And this is a real situation that we need to get our heads around. If you want to deal with energy, if you want to work with energies, and if you want to understand what's going on, you need to understand the connections between the planets, the planet Earth, the sun, and the universe. And so it would be a good idea if you saw the update in depth later on. So we can see those sunspots coming back round, and there is fronted by a couple of coronal holes. And as this season, or this cycle 25 kicks in, you're going to get less coronal holes and more sunspots. So therefore you'll get less direct earthquakes. You'll get delayed earthquakes with sunspots. They tend to sort of kick off, and then you get earthquakes sort of like 2 or 3 days afterwards, because as they come through the system, because the vibration is incredibly quick. The other thing that's coming down the road, and this is what I was also talking about in the magnetic pole shift, is that the tornado, it's a hurricane down that was down in the Gulf of Mexico. That got shut off by the Gulf Stream, luckily. But it's going to create a lot of water coming through into South Carolina. So Gretchen, watch out for your water. Get your boots on and be careful of those alligators. Is it alligators or crocodiles? It is alligators. Thank you. And if you see just above, I've squared off the chakra so you can see it a little bit easier. To the right, you've got the heart chakra, and as you can see, that sort of low that's sitting above it, that's breaking down, which is allowing that hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico to zip across and start heading towards the UK, as what you can see here in this sort of little video. This was on the 29th, and this is now on today. So you can see down off of the Panhandle and off of South Carolina, you can see the vibrations coming through there as it's going to slip all the way across the Atlantic. That's going to bring up a little bit more sort of heat from Europe for northern parts of France and southern parts of the UK. But what it is also going to do is going to send a lot of dust up into the air from the Sahara, which will build for storms coming next week. So this vibration of the heart, how has it been affecting us? How has this vibration been affecting us? And where do I or you or us, we stand in all of this? So the earthquake that actually happened in between Turkey and Greece, as you can see, it's actually sparked a tsunami. Now this is in Turkey, so Turkey, a lot of images are coming out of Turkey at the moment, and it seems like Turkey has been quite heavily affected by this earthquake. I haven't seen that much in the way of Greece, but there's obviously loads of islands around there, so I'm sure not all the information is going to be coming out before the coming week or so. Here we can see an aftershock. This is in Turkey again, as far as I can tell, and it from damaged buildings that are coming down. So this is like having a little bit of a heart attack for the Earth. She's not going to die, because that's not how it happens on a planet, but you're going to get these repercussions hitting after the Earth has had a bit of a heart attack, and how it sort of filters through. So this vibration, how have you felt this Friday afternoon? It'd be really good to know in the comments section below how it's been affecting you, but not just today, over the next few days. See how that sort of pans out over the weekend. As I say, it's the starting of a new vibration. If you are in a difficult position with your heart emotionally, that's with friends, family and lovers, and even with work, it may compact that emotion to make it even stronger. So obviously you've got root stuff to deal with that you keep putting off. Don't keep putting it off, just go ahead and do it. And if you're in a really good place, then you're going to have that good vibration flowing through. And the good thing about it is, with vibration, with us, with humans, you can tap into it whenever you need. So if you need a bit of a good happy feeling running through you, just stop, take it in, connect with the Earth, and that heart vibration will come through to you, because although the heart chakra is in the UK, when it starts ringing, it rings for everybody. It's not just for Northern Europe, it rings for everybody. And the heart chakra, as you can see on the right hand side, this is when we were doing a bit of a tour for our book, my book, which is The Event. If you haven't read it, you should read it. It's a great read. There should be links down below. This photograph was taken in Glastonbury, which is just set off the heart chakra. And normally, places of real power is set not necessarily on the chakra, it's around the chakra. So if you imagine, it's a bit like a vortex in the center of, or hurricane in the center of the hurricane. It's very calm. On the peripheries, it's very windy. And this is exactly the same with energy. You don't necessarily have to go on the crossing point in order to get the benefits of that energy. So it should be hitting out. As we've seen with the UK is very much based upon music. Imagine the size of their country. It's very small, really. I think there's only 68 million people there. But the amount of music, film and comedy that comes out of the UK, it just comes straight from the heart. And, you know, it's that's what's created that culture in that country at the moment. If you do have heart problems, do take time out, go outside, do a bit of meditation, breathe deeply, connect with all the greenery that's left around, because that green leaf vibration will actually help you to keep that heart nice and calm and easy. If you're falling in love, fall in love. Enjoy it. Seriously, it's a good time to do it. Just let yourself go. It's like getting on a ride at the fun fair and you're strapped in, you can't get out anymore, and you're waiting for the man to, or the person to start the machine, and you can feel it all buzzing through you. Just get into it, man. It's lovely. Let yourself go. Don't worry. Making mistakes can actually be quite funny, and it could probably help you in your love. If you're having problems with your love, it's good to take a cup of tea, sit down, breathe deeply, and it will help you to find a clear path between you and the people around you. So make sure you look after yourself, make sure you look after your heart, and etc. The energy news, or the update later on, as I said, will be going a lot more into how the sun is affected by various different ways, like the planets and etc. You will see that if you subscribe and you click the bell to Cymatic TV. You wouldn't get a notification when that video loads up. We should be doing that a little bit later tonight, but look at it over the weekend. As I say, your input is really important. Collectively, we can understand if collectively we feel free to express how we felt and what we feel. There is no right and wrong answer to all this. There is only your answer, okay? And your answer is a piece of the puzzle. We need every piece of the puzzle in order to understand the picture that we're looking at clearly. I hope you like this video. If you did like this video, don't forget, give it a thumbs up and etc. Do share it about. Share it down to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you like. Just take it and share it, because it's going to make a difference. If we can connect everybody together and everybody getting into this sort of vibration, it's going to make us as individuals, our lives a lot better. So make sure you get involved, yeah? Okay, as I say, my name's Tom Lawless. This is Cymatic TV, and that was your energy update. Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.